Hey everyone, Derek here, and this is episode 16. There's only a few more episodes left. This episode, I finish up phase 3 of my trip, so because of that, we're going to start this off with a map/recap of where I've been. I started phase 3 leaving from Ikebukuro in Tokyo to Koriyama in Fukushima Prefecture. I went over to the nearby Fukushima city, and then went up to Sendai. Once I settled in Sendai, I headed to Namie to check out the Chansey Park there. I did a day trip to Matsushima, not far from Sendai, then went to Yamadera, Yamagata, and Kaminoyama in Yamagata Prefecture. I had some very brief stops at Kitakami and Hanamaki before making it to Morioka, then Aomori the next day. I've taken the Shinkansen to Hakodate in Hokkaido. In this episode, I start off in Hakodate, then take the 3.5-hour train to Sapporo, where I stay for 4 nights. I'm in Hokkaido, so I'm in a completely different region of Japan now, which is really cool. In the Appa Hotel Hakodate Ekimae, which is the Hakodate Station Appa Hotel location. It feels a lot more spacious, even though it's really not that big, but it feels like I have more room to breathe. The view is something. So, as I've said, I'm in Hakodate, and it's technically the start of Golden Week. Golden Week is a national holiday in Japan, and it's a collection of 4 holidays within 7 days, usually at the end of April, first week of May. And so, most people get the entire week off from the Saturday until the following Sunday. It means that a lot of businesses are shut, and many train stations and sightseeing spots are packed. I strategically planted myself in Hokkaido, mostly in Sapporo during this time on purpose, and made sure to book my accommodations and Shinkansen rides around these dates as soon as they became available. My first destination was heading to Goryokaku and head to the Goryokaku Tower to get a view of the park named, you guessed it, Goryokaku Park. The top of the tower lends itself to beautiful views of Hakodate, including Mount Hakodate, but of course a nice overhead view of the star-shaped park itself. This park was pure joy. I booked this trip for the spring with the intent on checking out the cherry blossoms and catching them during their peak. I did get lucky in a few cities, but I was hoping to see them throughout Japan as I traveled across Japan. But you can never really make a perfect prediction. Given that the cherry blossoms came and went in Tohoku, I didn't really have my hopes up for Hokkaido. Luckily though, Hakodate was full of them. It may not have been the peak, but the falling petals were magical in its own right. Whenever a draft of wind would hit, it would basically rain sakura petals. I can only imagine what this looks like when it's in, peak bloom. I mean, hey, they're still kind of alive. It's also frosted on the ground. It's like snow, it's weird. And it's pretty. It's cool. Just walking along the star, which is neat. It's a cloudy, cool day, but not totally uncomfortable. If I look up here, hey look. They're not fully dead. So that's kind of cool, you know? I ended up having a sit down here with a nice view and had some lunch. I didn't show it, but I had a classic tuna mayo onigiri and a katsu sando. It was very peaceful. My worst enemy Back by Hakodate Station, I wandered the nearby shopping areas. I walked through this food court type thing with a bunch of izakayas. A lot of them were closed. I also spotted the famed Melon Kuma, the mascot for Yubari City in Hokkaido. I didn't go there, but they're known for their bears and their melons, so this kind of makes sense, I guess. I'd like to see Melon Kuma and Kumamon go at it, see who wins in a fight. It's not always about the Pokémon, you know? Sometimes the city lights just look pretty cool. I went to Lucky Pierrot because, again, I'm gonna try a fancy burger or a famous burger place. I also got this craft melon soda. I wanted to get kaisendon or some donburi, which is, apparently well known in Hokkaido because of the freshness of the fish. However, everything closes at like 2 or 3 and opens at 6 a.m. So I didn't get here until like afternoon, almost 1 o'clock. So there's like no chance for me to get to a place. But as a result, this place was fucking packed, so I had to take it out. So there it is. It's the Chinese chicken burger is what it's called. That looks like a huge dollop of mayonnaise. But looks like it'll be alright. I'm not sure what makes this Chinese. I guess maybe it's because it's a little sweet and sour. That's good. I like it. At night, I took the ropeway up to Mount Hakodate. The view from here is considered one of Japan's best night views, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. My camera may not do justice, but I tried. I think my phone was a little bit better, maybe. This is the line to get back down. At least we get to look at the view. And to be fair, they let in quite a few people on the ropeway at a time, so. But yeah, it was super busy up here, most likely because it was the start of Golden Week, but regardless of the wait times, this was an awesome way to cap off the day. The next morning, I made my way to Sapporo. It took about 3.5 hours from Hakodate Station on the Hokuto line. And I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. That's cool. I'm in Sapporo. I am drenched. I mean, sick shirt because Keisuku band, but I had to walk here from the station mostly because I'm an idiot and didn't know how to get on the train or didn't know where to catch the train, and I already left the station and I didn't want to walk back, so my fault. Hopefully the bed's okay. I'm here for 4 nights, so. Oh, good. So I don't get a view because of the construction, clearly. I figured the best way to spend the day was to just wander the city. I made my way back to the station where the Pokemon Center Sapporo was located. Felt like a good place to start. Alolan Vulpix and Sobble are the store mascots. Alolan Vulpix and Cantonian Vulpix are actually the ambassadors for Hokkaido, much like Chansey and Fukushima. I I was surprised to see that they actually had Pokemon cards available, but there was a limit per person. I don't believe I ended up buying anything, to be honest, but I never get tired of the Pokemon centers.
I want this. I don't want to take it with me.
The rest of the city is super cool. I checked out Odori Park, which has the famous Sapporo TV tower.
It's a very gray day in Sapporo. Everyone's just doing their own thing.
Nearby is the Susukino district, which is where a lot of the crowds sort of swarm at night. It's kind of reminiscent of Osaka or Shinjuku in Tokyo. The big advertisements are all lit up, there's a Ferris wheel even, many shops, bars, and restaurants, that kind of thing. This is the Sapporo Beer Garden, which houses the Sapporo Beer Museum. Not only was this the place I looked forward to the most in Sapporo, but also one of the things I looked forward to the most on this entire trip. Is it because of the beer? Is it because I enjoyed learning about the history of things? I mean, technically I like both of those things, but unfortunately the museum itself was closed. Actually, I came here to eat. While I waited for that glorious moment, I checked out the gift shop and grabbed some souvenirs for friends. There's also a nice park and a shopping mall nearby.
That's so cool. I do like it.
But the important thing here was getting to eat Hokkaido's famous dish, Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan. Not to be confused with the Mongolian warlord of the same name, it's grilled mutton or lamb prepared on a metal grill. And here it's all you can eat. You get dressed in a bib and all your belongings go in a plastic bag to avoid the barbecue smoke smell getting caked into all of your clothes and stuff.
Hey, what's up? You probably can't hear me at all, but I'm in the Sapporo Beer Garden with the 5-star Sapporo beer, Sapporo, however you want to say it. I'm gonna have some all-you-can-eat Genghis Khan very soon, which is pretty cool. Holy fuck. That looks amazing. Sapporo 5-star.
I ate so much to the point where it hurt, but it was so delicious.
The aftermath.
I didn't do much this day except for attempt to make a TikTok. I failed though because you're supposed to crush the ice in the cup before you stick it in the machine. I didn't know that, okay? I couldn't understand the instructions fully. It ended up melting anyway and worked itself out.
My hotel's right beside it, so beside the Family Mart, so by the time I got in to my hotel, it melted enough, easy enough to mix, so cool.
I also did a bunch of shopping in the area, mostly just nerd stores. Mandarake is a well-known hobby store that sells secondhand goods. There's a few in Tokyo, and there's one here too, so that was cool. I saw a bunch of rare vintage Pokemon cards. My pockets were not deep enough to buy anything though. There were many plushies and figures and things that I thought about buying, but they're just going to remain memories in this vlog. Oh, and I got this ice cream. Hokkaido is known for their milk production and for having some of the best dairy products. Hokkaido ice cream is one of those famous products, so I had to try it. This was the creamiest ice cream I ever had. Ever. The next day I headed out to the Hill of the Buddha, kind of on the outskirts of Sapporo. The formal name here is Takino Reien. Despite it being a place of worship and a cemetery, and of course all due respect to that, this is kind of a strange place. At the entrance, you're greeted with several Easter Island Moai statues. Behind it is a skate park, where, people ride BMX bikes and skateboards. Yeah. It was closed for the season though. Of course, the big draw here is the giant Buddha statue with an anthill type dome. It is unbelievable. Like legit, this thing is pretty astonishing. I think the views speak for itself.
This crazy looking little water piece. Imagine when the flowers are all bloomed. This place looks even crazier, but it looks like we're too late or too early. I'm not quite sure, but these flowers don't look alive.
Lavender in the summer makes this place pop with purple. Unfortunately, I kind of caught it in between seasons. Of course, this place wouldn't be complete without its own version of UK's Stonehenge. Now I don't need to go to England ever. I've seen Stonehenge in Japan. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Why is this here? Well, they're dead, but it would have been cool. I see the value.
The final sightseeing stop in Sapporo for me was Nakajima Park, a huge park in the middle of Sapporo. There's actually a huge concert hall here, as well as an observatory for stargazing. Mostly I was here for a nice peaceful walk as it was a really nice day, but I came across this historic and architectural landmark called Hokkaido, which was a hotel that opened up in 1881. Yeah, I just walked around the park and then walked back up to my hotel after this. Passed by a nightclub with an interesting facade, and I just walked along Susukino again at night. I didn't really go to any bars or anything, despite Susukino district being rather famous for it. Just wasn't really feeling it. Most places were very crowded because of Golden Week. I ended up just grabbing some Sapporo classics and some takeout. So that'll do it. I made it from one end of Japan to the other. Yeah, sure, it wasn't one direct line from Kagoshima to here, but I couldn't be happier with what I've done. I've got 2.5 weeks left in Japan from this point on, and so the last couple of episodes will cover that. It's worth mentioning that something I collected along the way were stamps from major stations that I had visited. I grabbed the stamp book from Neko Neko Post before coming to Japan. I didn't find any stamps in Okinawa because I didn't really head to any train stations there, so it started in Kagoshima at Kagoshima Station all the way up to Sapporo. Even got a stamp from the K-On! School. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I've made my way back to Odaiba in Tokyo where I spend the next week. I'll see you in the next one.